one that I really like right now, I was recently in Brussels and I went to a great record store there and it was cool because they had like, you know, like all the like classic shit that you would want in a record store, but it being like from like in Brussels, like of course they catered to all the like hits of American culture, but they had like the European counterparts as well, which was really cool because you can kind of see like, oh cool, when like the Ramones were really popular, here's like the like Belgian version of that band, or you know, hey, like, you know, when Aretha was really huge, like here's some soul singers from like Europe that were also like kind of pushing it. This record right here is one that I thought was awesome. I'm not even sure what the band was, but it looks like the record label is Helvete Underground Records, like Helvete. Sorry, I don't know French, but this record's dope. It's this weird ass like post-punk record out of Switzerland. There's like 8 tracks on it. If you can find this record, like I highly recommend it. It sounds beautiful, and there's really awesome like experimental stuff in it that I've been kind of trying to like copy and throw into some things I do. My parents, they listen to Curtis Mayfield, Teddy Pendergrass, Donna Summer, Bootsy Collins, Parliament. So a lot of that stuff is kind of what my music is based on. But this Back to the World one is probably one of my favorite Curtis ones. I mean, Superfly will always have a special spot in my heart. The guitar work is really cool. People talk about Curtis's voice a lot, but I don't think they realize like the dude could really play guitar, and the band that he put together is really tight and really strong. And on this record, you can really hear like how good the band is. You know, rhythm section is bomb. I mean, this is like the most sampleable Curtis record, in my opinion. This is in no order, by the way. I'd get flamed. Too much heat on the street. Let me dig. Let me see. Oh, this is easy. Easy. Mono. Mono's one of my favorite bands of all time. I think this is the best post-rock record ever made. I'm sorry, Mogwai. I love Young Team. I love it. But this record is so good. So good. You should listen to it. Let's talk about this. Okay, why is Mono so good? Post-rock bands are like a dime a dozen, and they're all good for different reasons. Godspeed, it's like watching a 4-hour movie and everything just like hits you at the end and you're like, oh my God, this is a holistic, beautiful, wonderful experience that I will never feel again. Mono, they take that idea and condense it. Like they actually write songs, not just like movements and like orchestral like ideas. Like their structures are succinct and defined. It's heavy and melodic. Just such a tremendously special way. I can't get enough of this freaking record. One Step More and You Die. It's fucking great. There needs to be a band named this. I'm gonna start a band named that. I like samples. And if you're gonna like samples, you're probably gonna like a lot of jazz. One record I sample a lot, like literally every person has sampled, is this one. The Art Blakey, Three Blind Mice, Jazz Messengers. I mean, if you like Madlib or you like MF Doom, you've heard him say Jazz Messengers more than 5 times. And this is one of my favorite records that I have. It's also in really great quality, this particular cut. And I think that this is like one of the most cold fucking like photos ever of this dude. Like that shit is dank. Ice, ice, ice. Speaking of ice, this is an honorable mention just because of the cover. Bruh, this dude is an ice. It's also a great record. It's called The Iceman Cometh. This is just such a blast from the past, and you can kind of see like people when they were like cutting records back in the day, like they were doing everything they could to make these album covers like different. Sometimes the technology just wasn't there, and this is a bust. Maybe someone should recreate it. I gotta hit up the label for that though. Ice. Honorable mention. And for I guess my last one that I like, I mean, I've got a bunch of things in here, man. I mean, I got Young, Gifted, and Black. You know, Aretha, this is like classic. You know, Rick James on that 4003, like that's, as he would say, cold-blooded. My final one that I can choose, it's 2 Hours with Thelonious Monk. This record, the one that I put on every time I come home from work, it's the one that I put on when I wake up in the morning. This is the one. Like if I was like, I need to take this record with me, it's this one for 100% sure. It's great. One thing I really miss about records is like all of this context, like recording techniques. He talks about, you know, inspirations for certain movements in the songs. I mean, you go inside, there's like booklets and pictures and art, and it's all big and hi-fi. I think it's beautiful and I love it. And this picture of him is just dope. Like playing with his hoodie, like, you know, his little ball cap on, just like going in. I mean, this is one of the greatest to ever do it and they'll ever do it. So, you know, gang shit. Those are my favorites today, right now. Thanks for stopping by with 5 Records with Bartees. Take it easy.
They're burning crosses from West Texas to Memphis. I've seen them burning out there by the lake.